Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Redevelopment Agency meeting of August 19, 2009 is called to order. This meeting has been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. These proceedings are being presented live on KCLV Cable Channel 2 and are closed captioned for our hearing impaired viewers. The Redevelopment Agency meeting, as well as all other KCLV programming, can be viewed on the city's website at www.kclv.tv. The proceedings will be rebroadcast on KCLV Channel 2 and the web the Wednesday of the meeting at 8 p.m. and also on Friday at 4 a.m., Saturday at 7 p.m., Sunday at 7 a.m., and the following Monday at 1 p.m. As I always announce, this building is protected by a state-of-the-art fire detection and suppression sprinkler system, so should alarms activate, please evacuate through the exits, and once outside, our marshals will advise you when it's safe to return. This is just a precautionary statement and had no reason to believe that that would ever take place. We'll go to item number 3, approval of the final minutes by reference of the regular Redevelopment Agency meetings of June 17, 2009 and July 1st, 2009. May I have a motion, please?
Yes, Your Honor. No additions or deletions of the minutes. I'll make a motion for approval of those minutes, please.
All right, let's vote on that, please. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 4 is report of declarations of interest in property located in the existing redevelopment area. Ms. Bridges?
For the record, I'm Beverly Bridges, the city clerk. NRS 279-454 requires any officer or employee of the city involved with the formulation or approval of plans or policies in the redevelopment area to disclose any direct or indirect financial interest in those properties. The law requires disclosure be entered upon the minutes of both the Redevelopment Agency meeting and the City Council, and with City Council item number 12 on your consent calendar this morning, both will have satisfied this requirement. There's no motion necessary on this item, and thank you for hearing my report.
All right, thank you very much. Are there any questions of Ms. Bridges or comments? All right, thank you. We'll move on to item number 5, which is a report and possible action regarding the status of parking, retail development, and related matters pertaining to the parking license agreement, the reciprocal easement agreement, and disposition and development agreement, and all amendments thereto operating within Neonopolis, located at 450 Fremont Street in Ward 5. Mr. Aaron.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Bill Arndt, Acting Director, Office of Business Development. The item before you today is a follow-up item brought back at your request. The Redevelopment Agency and the owner of the improvements to Neonopolis entered into a second amendment to the parking license agreement on May 20th of this year. And as a condition, the board had requested a project status update every 90 days, which brings us to today, August 19th. We do have the property owner here, the representative of the property owner, Mr. Rohit Joshi, here to answer any questions regarding the status of the property. I think after hearing the status of the property from Mr. Joshi, staff will be prepared to make a recommendation to the mayor and the council.
All right, thank you. Before Mr. Joshi starts, I'm going to find out if Councilman Barlow is on his way or not. Please bear with us. All right, Mr. Joshi, what's the status?
Right now, we are working on the plans being developed right now for the Star Trek attraction at the Indianapolis. What has happened is that because of various information that's been received regarding the opening of the Star Trek here, it was supposed to be May of this year, and now we don't know the schedule yet. There's been a lot of confusion. So CBS has requested that we jointly announce the schedule as well as the details at the appropriate time. And at this time on a public forum, it is very difficult for us to give you a status at all times. So that is the message I'm carrying from CBS right now.
Okay, well, I got the message, and from my perspective, my patience has come to, I guess, an end. If you're in a position where you can bring us something that rekindles the future and the fate of Indianapolis, I personally will always have an open mind, but I think that we've been very generous in these extensions and very generous in the way we've handled the parking. And I'm going to ask Councilman Barlow his position before I go much further, but basically, to be nice about it, I've had it. Councilman Barlow.
Thank you, Mayor. I had a long discussion with Mr. Joshi on yesterday, and I understand the position that you're in at the same time. Where are you in relation to the parking and the vouchers?
We have returned the vouchers for Star Trek that was given to us about 90 days ago in anticipation of this, that we believe that it's better to give it back to you and wait until the Star Trek is under construction. At that time, we'll be coming back to you for the parking validations.
Right. What were the total number of vouchers the City of Las Vegas provided you?
150.
150 total?
Plus 50 for the Telemundo, total 200.
Okay. So are you returning all the vouchers?
No, just 150 for Star Trek.
Okay, so if in fact we were to retract the 50 for Telemundo and work with Telemundo directly, would you be in opposition to that?
No, I would not be in opposition, except that we have to look at the lease that has been signed between Virula and Telemundo to make sure that the amendment could be made accordingly.
Okay, then I would like to do that.
Sure.
I would like to direct staff to look at retracting the vouchers with Telemundo and Mr. Joshi's company, and I would like for us to work directly with Telemundo in that respect as it relates to the 50 vouchers. Or was it 30 vouchers?
No, it was 50 total given to us. 30 were for Telemundo and 20 for related uses or other tenants.
Okay, then I would like to retract the 30 from Telemundo and as well as the 20 for the other uses and deal with on a case-by-case basis as you bring on more tenants.
Sure.
Okay.
Councilman, if I could...
Did you want to add something to that?
I apologize, Mayor. Councilman,
No,
if I could just interject. I think what we would propose to do with Mr. Joshi's consent here this morning would be to terminate the existing parking license agreement, which also includes a First Amendment as well as a Second Amendment. There is a termination provision in the agreement, so we'll have to, I believe, give notice to Mr. Joshi to put that in motion. And then I believe what we should be doing, just for ease of administration, would be to terminate all the existing access cards and then issue new cards directly to Telemundo to meet their needs under the lease, as Mr. Joshi referenced. And then on a case-by-case basis with the other tenants, if you'd like us to work with the other existing tenants in the property, certainly we could do that as well. We'd like that direction from you and the council here today on what parking access cards we should look at for the other tenants in the property.
Well, as you move forward to work out that agreement, as you mentioned, I would like for you to come back within our briefings and update us on what tenants need assistance, and we'll go from there. So that would be my motion at this time.
All right, before we vote, Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes, thank you. Councilman Barlow, I do have one request that staff works with Del Prado Jewelry Store that's in the Neon office at this time. They was moved out their current or their old address on Fremont Street 12 or 13 years ago to make room for Neonopolis and the downtown redevelopment, and they've been pushed around and shoved around. Now they're back over there in Neonopolis. So I would just ask that we have staff work with them very closely, help them in any way they can. They're just hanging on by a thumbnail.
Right. It's actually my motion for staff to work with all the tenants that are currently existing
Okay.
within Neonopolis to make sure that their parking is, we're dealing with them one-on-one and not through Mr. Joshi. That
And,
the city of Las Vegas is dealing with them one-on-one.
All right, thank you. Before we vote,
And Councilman, Mr. Mayor, I apologize. If I could ask Mr. Jervik maybe for his help in crafting a motion which will give staff the authority to enter into new parking license agreements directly with the tenants so that we don't have to take an item back before you today, so that we can ensure for Telemundo and any other tenant that needed parking that their access to parking is as seamless as possible.
Correct.
all right, before we hear from Mr. Jervik, Councilor Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor Goodman. Just a couple things. Mayor Pro Tem Reese, by coincidence yesterday in my briefing, I also mentioned the Del Prado, Mr. Del Prado and his tenancy and what his family went through and everything, and I just wanted staff to make sure they were sensitive to his needs, so I agree with what you said wholeheartedly. Just a couple of questions, if you don't mind. I was handed this document today. I don't know, Mr. Joshi, if you presented this to us or not.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Who authored the first page?
The CBS sent it to me about a week and on the date that
Okay, I'm talking about this first
Yes, sir.
page. CBS sent you this two-page
Yes.
document.
For me to say to you exactly about
Okay.
the schedule and the plans.
The second page looks like a press release.
It was done in February, as you see the dates, some time ago, so I just put it there so you know there were two separate announcements that we are
Okay.
making.
What I would like to see, and Councilman Barlow, I'm going to defer to you, I'm just telling you what I would like to see is something a little bit more formal from CBS.
Okay.
Now, I know that there hasn't been an agreement reached, and this tentative agreement is with you personally, not FAEC Holdings, Warula, or the other entity that is involved with Neonopolis. This deal with Star Trek is you personally, is that right?
Correct.
What I would like to see is just something to verify. And I'm saying this respectfully to you, that there is something going on between you and CBS, whether it be something a little bit more formal, because frankly, this doesn't look real formal to me.
We have
Or-
given those documents to the redevelopment agency.
Okay, have we
I'll forward
received
it to you as
something
well.
indicating a definite interest on the part of CBS?
I believe Mr. Adams did receive a letter from CBS. I defer to. Oh, I do have a letter dated January 23rd, 2009, on CBS letterhead, directed to Scott Adams from, and I'm having trouble making out the name, Grace, from a representative at CBS, so I certainly could enter that into the record. It is a letter on CBS letterhead.
And that's about 6 or 7 months old now. My preference would be perhaps within the next couple of weeks to get something a little bit more timely from CBS indicating that they have an interest. It doesn't have to be a specific, detailed thing, but something from them confirming that there is something going on with you, Mr. Joshi, and what their intentions are. Maybe a representative at our next meeting might be a good idea. That's just my thoughts.
Councilman Wolfson, maybe if I could just briefly read two statements from the letter. This letter will confirm that Rohit Joshi, DBA Joshi and Associates, is an authorized licensee of CBS pursuant to the agreement between CBS and Joshi dated as of October 13, 2008. Joshi has the right to produce, present, advertise, and promote an exhibition and entertainment experience based on and related to various aspects or elements of the pictures as approved by CBS at Neonopolis in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then later on in the letter it goes on to say, the term of the agreement commences as of October 13, 2008. It continues through December 31st, 2014, with two options to extend the term.
And that's great, Bill, and I appreciate that. I'm just looking for something a little bit more updated, please.
Okay. Mr. Jurek, did you want to respond to Mr. Aaron's request?
Yeah, I need to ask a question first. My assumption is that these parking spaces are not going to have a value that would exceed $50,000. It's probably well within the manager's authority. If that's incorrect, then we probably need to rephrase the motion a little bit.
That's my understanding. I don't have the exact value with me today.
Okay. I really think, Mayor, that given the fact that we're only talking 30 parking spaces here, probably not much more than that the motion was intended to give staff the ability to negotiate directly with tenants so that they may acquire those spaces. That's also, like I say, within the manager's authority. I think the motion is adequate as stated.
All right, very good. That's Councilman Barlow's motion. Let's vote on it, please. Post. Motion carries. Good luck to you. Okay, item number 6 is citizens' participation. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the Redevelopment Agency, and no subject may be acted upon by the Redevelopment Agency unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If anyone would like to be heard, come on up. We'll put a 3-minute timer on. Give us your name, and we'll go from there.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor, Redevelopment Board. My name is Teddy Russell, the 5th resident of Las Vegas. I have no problem whatsoever with anything that has been done and the action taken by the good mayor and the Redevelopment Board. I am merely issuing my opinion as an average Joe citizen. I was pretty much Neonopolis, rest in peace, when we lost the movie theaters. The way I would have liked to have seen it evolve was having those movie theaters, and it's so important as a family location to be able to take the kids to see a good American movie or whatever kind of movie, and that if we evolved in this process, then perhaps we could have a buy-low downtown. I feel that the representations have been made, have fallen through over and over and over when we so desperately need jobs, and especially downtown. I think that the gentleman, Mr. Joshi, has taken extreme advantage of the sufferance and the forbearance of the city of Las Vegas. I feel like the city of Las Vegas has been used very shabbily for their forbearance, their optimism, and their partnership. That's all I have. I thank you very much for your time and indulgence, and have a good day.
Thank you. Next, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Sharon Rogers, 825 Hedgeway. I'm here in regards to a property that my parents own, and it's located in the general redevelopment area. And the property has been vacant for a few years, and it was vacant because we were assuming that we were included in the redevelopment plan. And I called yesterday, well, a couple of days ago, and I've been inquiring about the plans that you have for the area. And the address property line cuts off right next door, and we were excluded from the plan. So I'm trying to see what's going on with the area and what plans do you have for the area.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. We can't take any action regarding your particular property line matter at this point in time.
Okay.
However, I'm going to suggest that you speak to somebody from our manager's office
Okay.
Immediately following this meeting, which will be momentarily, and they'll be able to direct you in the right direction.
Okay, thank you.
Good, thanks for coming down. Anybody else? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to item number 7, and this is agency member recognition. Would any member of the redevelopment agency like to be heard on a redevelopment agency matter at this time? All right, seeing none, the redevelopment agency meeting is adjourned, and we'll start our council meeting in about 35 minutes at